Okay, so today, guys, I will be coming at you through the laptop mic, but that not being too much of a problem. First, we're going to take a look at a step that is absolutely not necessary. I thought I was going to be preparing and getting some peanut butter inserts and some jelly inserts by freezing them, then I could drop them in there. That did not work out at all. So as I'm saying this, do as I say, not as I do. It just will not work. And maybe you could leave it in there for longer. It just doesn't freeze though. It lacks some of the properties to freeze properly. But that being said, that is not going to stop me from showing you what I did wrong. So what I'm doing 6 of each of the peanut butter and the jelly. This is a organic strawberry jam or preserve actually. And we're gonna shove this thing in the freezer, as I said, for about 4 hours. But like I said, also you're not gonna want to do this. It's a waste of time. But let us go ahead and focus on our cookie batter. Now we're gonna go with a chocolate chipless cookie dough, and I got this recipe from America's Test Kitchen. So what we have in there is 3.5 cups of flour. That is 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of baking soda or powder. Honestly, I don't remember which one. I think it's soda. And so we're just gonna mix it in with Gary. I don't have a tiny whisk. That's just Gary. I named him Gary. And so we're just gonna combine everything together, and we're gonna set it aside because we don't need it anymore at this point, right? At this particular moment, we're gonna focus on the wet ingredients. So we're going to melt 2 sticks of butter into this here bowl, and then once that's done, we're going to combine 1.25 cups of brown sugar and 1 cup of regular sugar. We're gonna go ahead and take Gary and mix that up until they're all together. Now with the brown sugar, it's obviously you want to do 1.25 packed. Now I should have broke it down more, but it breaks up pretty easy. So you're just gonna incorporate it all together, mix it all together for about 2 minutes until it's become this nice ribbony, I don't know what you would want to say there. I'm no cook, so I don't know what the proper terms are. But we're also going with 2 eggs and 2 egg yolks up inside there. So once you get that, then you're going to combine those for another roughly about 90 seconds to incorporate everything in there together. And it should come out to a lot lighter color. If you were using a stand mixer instead of your hand like I'm doing, it comes out a lot smoother. And I also added way too much vanilla flavoring. It actually called for, I want to say a teaspoon, or maybe a tablespoon. I think it was actually a tablespoon. And I probably went with like 2 tablespoons, but it turned out fantastic. So if you accidentally put too much vanilla flavoring in there, do not worry. It's very forgiving. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna sit there and fold this in by hand. Like I said, it's always better to use some sort of hand mixer, but if you ain't got that, you can still get this done with your hands. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mix all this in, and we will not be combining any chocolate chips. So as you can see, we have it done, and we're going to set it aside for, not for long. It just needs to rest. That's all it needs to do. Nothing major. But while it's resting, we have prepped so since it's resting, or now that it's rested, we've gotten out our peanut butter and our jam, which look terrible, but they will be stuck in there, by the way. That's the reason why I'm telling you that this is a bad option. The peanut butter melts very quick, and so does the jam. So that's why I say that it's actually best to go ahead and just pipe them directly into that little cavity that I'm making with my finger. It just works out so much easier than using one of those little peanut butter plugs. So, and as you'll see, once I plop one in there, it is already started to fall apart. And see, it's already melted. And so this is the reason why it is a waste of time. You might be able to leave them in there for longer, and maybe they work out a lot better. Maybe they stay frozen. I'm gonna use just a little bit more dough to just kind of seal up all this. Now, this is just my first attempt. Now, on my second one, I left it open. As you can see, they are all filled, and they were delicious. And yes, I am in overalls all of a sudden for some reason. Now I'm going to let my roommates try them out, and let's see, those are the peanut butter. These on the bottom are jelly. So I'm gonna try peanut butter, and they're not bad. They're a little dry. They lack, there's something that it's just missing. And the jam ones I probably should have let sit for a little bit longer. Yeah, that was hot. Yeah, that was pretty hot and pretty dumb. But if you let them sit for actually, a decent amount of time, they cool off and they're actually really delicious. But let's try out a different way. Now, don't make fun of me here. I do not have a rolling pin at this moment. I was thinking that this might be a better route than trying to use my fingers, but I ended up using my fingers anyways. So what we're gonna do on this particular way is we're actually just gonna line the bottom and the sides of the cups, and we're gonna see how that goes. And then we're gonna just fill them up with peanut butter, and actually we're gonna do a little bit of something different than on the last one. So let me go ahead and fill in each one of these here cups, making sure to get it all the way down. And then once you get done, we're gonna go ahead and trim off that extra bit that's hanging up after I oil it, because I completely forgot to oil the pan because I'd like them to come out when I'm done. But like I said, we're gonna go ahead and stick them in there, get it all pressed in, and then we'll go ahead and trim off the excess. Now, watch out, you are using a knife, obviously. There are better ways, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are just, have way better ways of going about this. And yeah, I'll figure those out eventually. But as of right now, this is the way I went. So we got one done. We're gonna do the rest. So as I was saying, I'm using Smucker's organic, basically a preserve, strawberry preserve. And I have found that the best way to get stuff into a piping bag, and if you don't have any piping bags like I don't, a Ziploc bag works fantastic. You can cut the tip off. If you want to put a tip, like one of the metal tips in there, you can just cut the end off of the bag and shove that in there. It works fantastic. So what we're gonna do right here is we're gonna go ahead and pipe the peanut butter into each one of these things instead of putting the little frozen plugs in there, because this method works out so much better. And I actually counted wrong. I was actually wanting to do an even amount of peanut butter and jam, but as you will see here shortly, I for some reason counted wrong. It was late. Yeah, see, I should have done that other one, but for some reason I topped off the other ones. And yeah, now I'm gonna go ahead and top off all the rest of them with some chocolate chips, some semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use just milk chocolate chips, dark chocolate, whichever one that you feel like. This was just the option that I was going to go with. And I have some other options. I was thinking about going with some like s'mores type one with some chocolate and some marshmallow on the bottom, but we'll see how that goes. But for right now, we got us some chocolate peanut butter and some PBJs. So here they are. They are done. And I gotta say, they look delicious. The jellies, they look absolutely hot and molting, but they look delicious. And so what we'll do is we're gonna put these out on a plate. Nice. And there's a hand coming in. Could not wait. Look at how, man, they look so good. So this time they actually turned out so much better. Now you obviously want to let the the jam cool again, because it was like a little bit of molten lava, but I gotta tell you, it was some delicious lava. And the peanut butter and the chocolate actually turned out to be one of my favorites. It was so good, and I highly recommend the peanut butter and the jelly, or the peanut butter and the chocolate. Sorry. It turned out fantastic. I fully recommend that. Yeah, it was just something I was trying. Like I said, I was trying to make some PB crisp. It did not work out that way, but hey, this was a happy accident. And so, with that being said, I thank you guys for watching. And on the next video, we're gonna take a look at some red beans and rice. So can't wait for that. So look out for that next video, and see you guys later.